Yeah, my name's Ian Porter. I'm 54 and I'm a former telecom support engineer, 35 years in the trade. And I am now sorry, dog's joining in.
That's all right.
I'm now manufacturing camper van furniture, essentially flat pack furniture for the camper van trade to individuals who want to convert their own vans.
Yeah, so quite a change. So you were doing kind of behind the desk job, 8 hours a day, sitting down, and now you're basically on your feet all day.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I mean, I was working at home, say 8 hours a day, sat behind a computer, analysing technical issues on phone systems for our customers. And now I'm in a small workshop. There's just 2 of us there, and operating CNC routers to manufacture furniture.
Incredible. Not many people would say, telecoms engineer to flat pack furniture manufacturer. What was it that triggered you to make the change?
Triggering the change was really sort of, the fact that the original job was incredibly stressful over the years, just getting more and more so, suffering mental health as a result. And the realization one day when my daughters wanted my time over the Easter weekend holiday to help them with some DIY projects in their own houses. And I was resentful of the fact that they wanted my time when all I wanted was a long weekend to decompress from work. I realised that at that point that life was the wrong way around. My family was more important to me than the job. I had a discussion with my wife, and sort of within 20 minutes or so, I made the decision that I was no longer going to do this. Handed my notice in. No idea what I was going to do, but trusted to faith that with my 3-month notice period, I would find something. And as luck would have it, Facebook advert came along from Dan, who I now work for, who I had previous contact with, buying camper van furniture from him for my own van conversion. And over the coming weeks, that initially fell through due to my notice period being too long. But towards the end of the notice period, he got back in touch with me, and the job was back available if I wanted it, and took it from there.
Yeah, and what I like about this is we spend a lot of time with people on our cohorts, sort of saying actually a lot of the time the answer to what you want is probably more in the action. So when you do things, you learn about whether or not you like them or not. And a lot of the paralysis and the trouble that people have is spending a lot of time trying to look for a perfect job or waiting for something to come along that they go, oh, I could get really excited about that. What was it that you needed to do, or what was it about this job that just kind of enabled you to do it? I
needed to get away from being behind a desk. I needed to interact with people more. I thought, although strangely, when I did initially leave, I found that I thought I was very isolated working at home, and wanted to work more closely with real people. But what I did find was that when I left was that I wasn't as isolated as I thought. I'd got that support team around me, and I did very quickly come to miss that. That's taken a little bit of getting used to. But what I really needed to do was to actually sort of get away from being behind that computer, sitting down all day, to doing something more active. I wanted to do something, more, not necessarily physical, but more working with my hands, doing something rather than just staring at a screen. I needed that complete change from the analytical role to something that not mindless, but that I could just get out of that sort of zone of constantly analysing things and just actually just do something that had got an end point to it.
Yeah. And what you're doing now, you've incurred a fairly significant financial, or you've taken a significant financial hit. Do you feel comfortable sharing with people what that looks like for you?
I was earning in my previous job in excess of 60,000. I'm currently earning just under 20,000. So it's less than a third of what I was on. The upside of that is I only work a 4-day week, 32 hours over a 4-day week, which I thoroughly enjoy. Yes, money's tight. My wife works part-time. She's picked up a few extra hours to help. But yeah, we're managing, and that's what's important, is that we can keep the roof over our heads. Fortunate enough not to have a mortgage, kids have left home, and we can put food on the table, we can feed the dogs, which is probably the number one priority. But yeah, it's tight. It's taken give it to getting used to budgeting again. But what I'm finding is I'm not needing to fill my life with stuff. I'm not spending money on things just because I can, they make me happy for a few moments in time. So yeah, it's been tough. It's taken a little bit of getting used to, but yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, which is amazing. And I mean, talk me through some of the other benefits that you think this change in lifestyle has had for you.
Well, I mean, initially the sort of most obvious change in lifestyle is sort of getting away from sitting behind a desk and being on my feet and being physical. I've lost 1.5 stone in weight, so I feel a lot more healthy than I was physically. Mentally, I've had some mental health issues in the past, and my mental health wasn't fantastic when I left the last job. I won't hide the fact that about a month into changing jobs, I had quite a bit of a mental health wobble. Really, I think around the fact that reality was setting in. This was real. Sorry, he's joining in again. Yeah, this was real. This wasn't, just something I was going to wake up tomorrow and everything was back to how it was before. And I think it's taken me another month or so since then to really settle into it. There's obviously the concerns about, as a man, being brought up as the wage earner, the expectation that you're going to provide for the family, etc., to then not being able to do that in the way you have done previously. It's that's taken a little bit of getting used to. But my wife's been really supportive, supportive of my decisions. She's helping out financially where she can as well, and we'll make it work.
What is it about you? What is it you've had to adjust in your head? Because it does seem like that is quite a big issue, and it's something that a lot of men will struggle with. I guess, what advice would you give them? How have you been able to make that adjustment in your head?
Talking to to your wife, partner, whoever it may be open about sort of how you feel about that. It's certainly it's my wife has been really supportive. She's the one that's really taught me around to the fact that it isn't all on you. It has been for so long, and whilst you've got a young family and you've got the bills to pay, etc., then yes, it was on me. But now we've got that financial stability, it really doesn't have to be. And with her support, we've worked our way through it, and it's tough, but we've worked our way through it, and we're now at sort of a position where we are comfortable with the fact of that this is our life, this is what we're earning, and we'll cut our cloth accordingly, and we're happier for it.
Yeah, amazing. Well, that sounds like a pretty good message to sort of share with people, that it can be done. It isn't necessarily the easiest. There probably will be moments of wobble, but ultimately mentally and physically, you're probably in a stronger place, and it sounds like you wouldn't go back and change it. So
I wouldn't go back and change anything, and certainly I have, you know, no regrets in making that decision to leave my last job. You know, that is the one thing I am absolutely sure of, was the right decision. I don't know what the future will hold, whether, you know, this is my life forever. You know,
well, you've still got a lot of time ahead of you.
Exactly. So, you know, this may not be my forever career, but right at this moment in time, it works.
Yeah.
You know? It's been tough. It's, you know, to get to here, there's been those moments of, say, you know, there's been sort of those wobbles which we've worked through, and there probably will be more. You know, but it doesn't have to be forever. You know, but it works for now.
Yeah, well, I think the cards are stacked in your favour. I mean, if you look at, you know, all the research and evidence about this sort of stuff, people who've got supportive family, people who enjoy their life, who aren't particularly consumed by periods of stress, people who are financially comfortable enough to pay for the roof over their head, you know, and then you throw in the physical fitness as well. Actually, you're ticking pretty much every box, Ian.
Thank you.